What's up, everyone, and welcome to the quarantine edition of the Off Balance Breakdown. Today I'm going to be breaking down. I did a quick poll on IG, and we got to give the people what they want. Match breakdown versus Ethan. So we competed at the 170 BJJ Fanatics, as you all know, and Ethan and I had a very cool and interesting match and a lot of interesting exchanges. Ethan and I have been training together for about since day one almost, and so we know each other's game very well, and you guys can kind of see all the transitions and the little tricks. I know what he's going to do, he knows what I'm going to do, and so we get some nice cool sequences. But in this match there were some things that Ethan didn't know I was going to do. Things I didn't know he was going to do, because we work on different things in training. So there was some interesting stuff, and without any further ado, let's get it started. So I started the match. I'm going to start recording the match right here. Boom. All right. The match is recording right now. So, boom, here we go. I started the match a couple of seconds later because, as you guys probably noticed, Ethan and I, the first exchange, he spins underneath. I go to keep inside position. Single leg X. Boom, he stands up. False X. Try to bring his hips over my head. He rolls to the back. I follow through. Switch to the 50-50, glance at the crowd. Guys were like, have a serious match. We're like, we are slowly having a match. So here, look, for example, enter the legs. Let's keep going. Enter the legs, and now boom. Here's this thing. I don't know. In the match, I do it good at this part of the match, but there's another part of the match where I do the mistake of locking the 50-50. So for me personally, with my game, when I lock the person in 50-50, it could be good, or I could take advantage of the fact that, I can spin underneath and catch the secondary leg and transition to other things. Here, Ethan, what he attempts to do is to take my back, but as you can see, my knee is still to the inside here, which makes it harder for him to take my back. Not only that, I also have, I haven't used this in a while, I have this control here, which makes it a bit harder for him to go and take my back. I mean, he could still take it and create a good scramble, but it definitely slows him down. Also, as you can see, V-gripping the ankle here, stopping him. He goes to roll without clearing the knee line, so that resulted in me pummeling my legs in, keeping my knee to chest, and coming up on top for a nice minute of warm-up, let's put it that way. Him and I were slowly picking up the pace. Slap hands, back at it, engage with him. Ethan's a pretty hard guy to pressure, so as you can see here, I try to compress him using this overhook here around the head, as you can see. I try to bring his knees to his bring his head to his knees and try to compress him, make it hard for him to re-guard and bring his knees to chest, and look to kick these legs back and try to start working front headlocks and back exposure. But Ethan's a good man, off balances me, brings his knee back in and gets up on top. I accept the sweep, and then since it's a submission only format here, I try to pummel this leg in. As you can see, I'm trying to bring my leg to the inside. He does a good job, stacks, so I spin the other direction, and here I look to threaten his left leg. So as you can see, my right knee into the hip, and then my other left knee is going to go behind his knee. So it's kind of like catching the saddle before really getting into the position. And here what I usually like to do, you can't really see, but I like to bend the leg, and then I like to bring the heel towards my hip and make him backstep in that direction, and that will give me the heel. Usually I have the heel already, but that's what I usually do. So they stack, I spin underneath and look to attack the leg. Ethan knows that, underhooks, and makes it hard to keep attacking the legs once people have double unders. So here he's insisting on the double unders, doesn't know any better, no problem. There we go, 2-on-1. Keep my legs to the inside with Ethan. Shin to shin, elevation. Boom. Use it to get up on top and get the inside position with the single leg X. Nice little sequence there. Here, as you can see, I'm using a short hook ashi. very, very good. A lot of people ask for footlock setups. This is an excellent one. As you can see, the short hook here on the single leg X. This short hook also is really good. More and more people now drop. So let's say Ethan, if I had my foot on his hip, he would, what's it called? Have the heel, kind of like an Aoki lock with a reverse figure four grip. Use it to threaten my legs. So I've been using this a lot to threaten straight ankles, reaps, and whatnot. Play around with it. It's good also to push people away, create some distance if you need to. And here I am, double trouble, using both legs. He knows what I'm about to do. I've done this to him millions of times. Body lock. I'm able to off balance, break the lock free. From here, same thing, playing a mixture of supine, seated guard, elevating, forward shifting. Here we keep moving forward. Ethan's passing on both knees. I invert here. This is, I mean, it's a risky. It's especially against a guy like Crelinsten, Mr. Naches, because say Ethan manages to sack me on my shoulders here. He has a nice. See how my back's exposed here. So this is something for me to be careful about. Invert like that, there's always risk of back exposure. Unless you bring the legs to 50-50. Now, if you log the 50-50, now we're both stuck in 50-50, which is not the end of the world, but it could slow the game down depending on the circumstances and what is happening. So you can pass the leg across. As you can see, I pass the foot to the other side of my head to prevent me getting stacked and getting my back taken. But also it means if Ethan wants, he can lock his legs and go to 50-52, and now he has just as much of an opportunity to submit me than I have to submit him. What I did in the beginning of the match, spinning under, catching the secondary leg, that's also a good option. Here I do them. I think, I mean, for where we were a couple of steps ago and where we are now, I think it's a bad move for me to put him in 50-50 and slow the game down, just because I'm having success with getting underneath and it's pummeling, switching leg to leg. So what I would do now is I'd probably keep my legs unlocked and throw a short hook on this hip here to the inside and start threatening the secondary leg. Let's keep moving forward. See what happens here. Oh, there you go. There you go. I didn't even know I was going to do it, but there you go. Boom. Throw the short hook in and pummel this leg to the inside. See how I go from overhooking to throwing that hook in, keeping the knee line. Ethan, asshole, knows what I'm doing and clears the knee line slowly. But there you go, pinning my hook too. He knows I'm going for that false X. Goes to the back without clearing the knee line, so it just ends up with me. See, I still have the knee out. Much harder to take the back. Now here, this is a situation where I could, you don't see it, but I could catch the heel and then flare this knee open here. Boom. Flare this open, regain the knee line. Ethan knows that, but if I could have dropped him a bit more to the hip, so here, let's go back. Yeah, right here. Right here. These are the positions. Like this is like a failed backstep, kind of. If you look at it. See, I have my foot underneath his near butt cheek. Ethan here. Haha, look at him freaking out. Knows what's coming. I should cross step and I should definitely look to turn him in that direction. Hold on. Boom. Turn him in that direction and start threatening the heel hook. But he does a good job of regaining his base. He bases with his right arm, brings his hips up to the mat, and I'm stuck with single leg X now again. The short hook, looks to back step. I just, whatever. There's no point of keeping it at this point. So we're squared up, back again, inside position, cross frame, elevate, single leg X again. And don't think like I'm a beast at entering legs. It's Ethan. He's comfortable at letting people enter his legs, and he likes to squirm and work his way out of these annoying positions. So single leg X, goes for the head. Just roll with him, spin with him, keep the same angle. Trying to cut the distance here, Ethan is. And I mean, it's a good strategy maybe, but I mean, I'm much bigger than him, so I don't know. Boom. Nice entry here. False X. So here's the thing, Ethan knows it. I want to have his hips over my head, as mentioned in my instructional. He knows that, so he keeps his hips away from me, as you can see. So it's a bit hard for me to force the false X, and Now here what he does, this is an interesting sequence. I can't get the false X. He drops his hip. So what I do is I go up on top and boom, there's the back step right there. You guys see it? That's basically how I set up my back steps most of the time, is me like trying to get underneath people, false X and whatnot. And as soon as I get up on top, I drop back into the legs, and that usually confuses people. So back step, double trouble, taking some deep breaths here. And now this is another thing I'm getting better at, is keeping control of the position instead of freaking out and rushing to the finish. Notice here I like to use this grip here around the knee to make sure it makes harder for him to turn it in that direction. Just to keep his legs compressed together. That gives you time to go take that right hand of mine and go dig for the heel. I don't know what happened here. See, I try to pass, threaten to pass, I fall back. Patience, no problem here, it's okay. Yeah, there's no necessary need to rush. See how I hike the leg up? I like to hike the leg up. Instead of digging for the heel on my butt, I try to come up on a hip. Ethan knows it. Hand fights. I pass the head to the other hand, to the other leg, to the other side. Sorry, trying to dig for the heel here. Ethan is squirmy, gets that leg free, and I'm back into single leg X. Same thing here, trying to create some off balancing. And once I see that, you know, he kind of seeing what's happening, I kind of reset and go back into another entry. Half butterfly again, one of my favorite guards to play. Always pummeling. Here I threaten literally the worst triangle on this planet, just so I can have inside, just so I can get him to, you know, posture up just a tiny bit and get underneath him. Here, notice the grip that I'm using. This one was showed to me by Craig, Isaac, you know, the guys from Absolute in Australia. I've been using it a lot of success. Here again, my legs are locked, which is something I don't know why I was doing at this point. Trying to work to the 80-20 here, getting my left knee down to the mat. Ethan is, see how he puts his hand there? He's just waiting for me to unlock my legs so he can grab my heel. I feel that happening, so I just be a little bit more patient, you know, wait for the right time to do it. Notice how I'm passing this leg to the other side to help me come up, but it's hard. It's going to be hard for me to come up and dig if, you see, I can't bring this knee to the inside. That's something I need to work on. Find ways to, you know, even if his arm is blocking my knee from coming to the inside, ways to be able to heist, bring my hips up and be able to create more heel exposure. So here I'm just playing around with it, trying to, you know, figure something out on the fly here. He frees the secondary leg, relocks his legs. And yeah, this is, I don't like to spend too much time here just digging left and right, because you're in danger too. Not only that, a lot of times leg locks is like a quick kill. It's like a headshot. You know, you want to get in the position with the heel right away, get the finish. Don't spend too much time there playing. That's why I like to get in and out. You know, not always spend time. And Ethan and I, for whatever reason, this match, we spent a bit more time than I would like to in there. So that's something to work on, definitely. Here he's getting aggressive, trying to catch the heel. Hand fight. Address the hands always when you feel there's any kind of threat on your legs. So yeah, there you go. I go outside Ashi, spin the leg again. Same thing. Here I tell myself, I remember telling myself, all right, let's try something else here. It's getting a little bit annoying. Playing Ethan's game, 50-50, slowing it down. Lighter guys game, I think. A lot of lighter guys spend a lot. You see them spending a lot of time here. So here, same grip around the knee, and now notice I do what I should have been doing earlier, is I pummel this left leg in. And now here's what I do. This is something Craig, Rao, all the top leg lockers transition that they all been working on. It's hard to see because of Ethan's big head. So look here, hooking with my right arm. This is something that I'll put on the instructional. Right arm hooking the knee, left arm hooking the toes. Slowly gonna work down. I'm gonna pass it to the other side of my head. Not only that, here I'm gonna pummel my legs to an X guard. See how I pummel for like a split second. Here I'm already spinning, but for a split second, I go to the X guard position here. Hold on, let me catch it right here. Kind of quasi like X guard, as you can see it. Boom. So once I pass the leg to the other side, I'm gonna look at the spin. See how my hips go from facing facing this side to spinning around and facing this side. So this will, if you look at Ethan's leg, see how his foot would probably be, so his heel's on the bottom, toes on top. So it would give me access to the heel right away, which would be somewhere right here. So look, spin, and I already hand off the foot. So boom, it's already caught. The heel is already there, and I don't have to position. This transition is money. Problem is, Ethan's hips are off the mat, which makes it a little bit more challenging to get a proper break on the leg. Spin, and now not only do I do that, but I catch the knee to suck the knee line back in. And now this is where it should have been over. In the back of my mind, I wanted to give Ethan a chance to go to overtime. So notice here, boom, the match is pretty much done. I have him dead to rights, but whatever. We wanna have some entertainment for the crowd, so I let it slide. Now, but to be honest, Ethan did a good job of, look here, coming up, bringing me to my shoulder, which made it harder for me to dig and get the bite that I wanted to. Defense, you don't have to wait till you're caught in a position to start defense. Sometimes you wanna address it before it's too late. So here, defensively speaking, as you can see, Ethan here is turning in the right direction, pointing his toes, heel slipping. What I should have been doing a bit more is using that grip on the knee, as you can see, to pull it in that direction and pull also my knee in that direction to open up his hip and expose the knee. So everything for me needs to be going in that direction, I guess. This is something I need to work on. Obviously, it's still not as sharp as I would like to. But it's good to see it and to notice it. Here, Ethan also does another very good thing, which is something you can work on, is look how he brings me on my shoulder here. Makes it very hard to get any kind of braking pressure. My legs are unlocked. I lost the heel, and it was close, but not close enough. Here, I try to spin. I smile because I know how close it was. So does he. Back in the 50-50 position. So yeah, basically, oh boom, there you go. Here's something else I really like to do is, let's go back, 50-50. I like to spin underneath. See, I'm hooking the far leg already. Hook the far leg and boom, pummel my knee to the inside, and then I have X guard on the other side. Switch again. Here, this is something I do a lot actually, to catch the heel before I get in the position. Notice here, this is kind of like a compromised position for me. Look, I pass the foot to the other side, but there's this leg here, the right leg, there's nothing between him and I. So this usually what it gets them to do, it gets them to drive into you. Now notice, here Ethan's going to keep driving into me. And this is when I lace this. It's not very technical. It's like kind of a spazzy, just kick it over and then hope for the best. Where I pass it, it's kind of like a failed backstep position again, where you can go for that grip around the knee, catch the heel before, and then suck the knee line back in. Ethan knows it, has seen this, has been caught by this many times. So successfully defends. Now we're back to square one. But yeah, Ethan's definitely a hard guy to catch. This is straight out of Jason Rao right there, as you can see. I don't know how he calls it, but he does this thing where he will hook behind the knee. Notice the grip around the ankle. He's sharpened up a couple of things from there. I might have him demonstrate that move on the next instructional that I do. Have a part for him in it too, because this is straight from him. Look, I off balance, point the knee out, pummel the foot in, and now boom, we have inside position, ready to attack. He does a better job than me, obviously, Rao, at catching the heel from there right away. There are things, I'll let him explain it, but basically, look here how I'm belly down, how there's foot on the hip. There's not much preventing Ethan from heel slipping and pointing the knee out and stacking me. So there are ways to catch it, ways that we will include in the DVD, obviously. I'd rather you guys get the proper explanation than something half-fast. So we'll get it straight from the source. Stay underneath him here, invert, follow through. And you know what, training with Ethan all the time, I got good at following through because he's just so squirmy and moves left. It's so hard to control him. He's like a mosquito, a slippery mosquito. So yeah, you get good at following people once you get underneath them. And yeah, there you go. Single leg X, double trouble. Ethan here is kind of in a spot where he has to wait, hand fight. And see, here, if you're ever stuck, now, this is what I was talking about. You see how he has, this is something he could do. He has access to my foot. Now, here's the thing. When in Ethan's position, you don't want to be, first of all, it's going to be hard to stand up because I have both feet off the mat. That's number one. Number two, what he could potentially do is start attacking this foot right here. See how my heel would be, see how my heel right here is like kind of on his rib cage. All you would need to do is to pull that up a tiny bit, apply reverse figure 4, and then they should put pressure right on the knee right here. That's something you can do. It'll get me to bring my knee to my chest, but there's still the problem that I have control of the secondary foot. So unless I let go of that secondary leg, it'll be hard for him to pummel his foot backhand. So he's kind of in a position where he has to wait, but he does a good job of bringing his hips over my leg, trying to mount. I use it to come up on top here, hand fight, troll. Ethan's guard's pretty tough to pass, so as soon as he starts to put any pressure, boom here. Beautiful butterfly sweep here. John was in the corner. He wasn't coaching us, but I was waiting for the nice Sumigeshi Oliver Taza. Unfortunately, he didn't say anything. You can see me even here looking like John. Did you see that? But he didn't say anything, unfortunately. We keep going. Failed back step, no problem. We're still on the inside. We're still operating here. Heist, again, try to back step, roll through. It's the same position. There's a lot of movement, but you can see it's the same position. We're just following through, rolling backwards, forwards. Still single leg X, reap, expose the heel. Ethan does a good job of heel slipping, getting out, back to single leg X, off balance. And then he knows what I'm doing, this guy. Holy crap. My whole game. It's all good. It's all good. Him and I are stuck here in Montreal anyway, so we'll have a lot of time to figure things out. Elevate. Doesn't work. See what I was trying to do. He did a good job. You know, Ethan should be doing things like that more often. Blocking people from getting underneath him. Notice here, I try to get underneath. Doesn't work. Ethan cuts back. And I'm left with nothing. So, boom. Frame on the face. Now that big nachas, hard to miss. Framing, attacking, again, enter the same leg. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I should have mixed up my attacks a bit more. It's a little bit repetitive what's going on, which is something, you know, like in competition you need to do. You need to be able to see, all right, here, this is something I need to adapt. He defended this a couple of times. He defended that a couple of times. What do we do? This is something, you know, I guess with experience will probably come for me, but it's definitely not there yet. Here I try to work with the 80-20. Ethan's doing the same defense as earlier, leaning forward. You know, he's with his arm position here. You just see this. It just makes it hard for me to bring my first of all, my knee should be down on the mat here. As you can see, this is a good shot. My knee should be down here. Foot should be on the other side of the chest, and then my right leg should be hooking on the far hip. That's the position I'm looking for. But he does a good job of, you know, blocking the hips and everything. So, I mean, listen, instead of, if you're stuck in one direction, what I should be doing is going the other direction. His legs are unlocked too, so I could pass it to outside ashi, but then there are back takes. So what I should be doing is I'll be trying to get up, heist, make it look like I want to heist. Obviously keeping the threat of the inversion underneath me in mind, but it would definitely open things up now that I think about it, you know, to diversify it all a bit. I keep secondary, control the secondary leg. Sorry, I'm starting to get, focus is starting to fade, but we're almost done. Again, this is good, but there's no threat here. I'm kind of, you know, just holding him there. Kind of disappointing that I look at it now, but I mean, oh, there we go. Here, see again, that arm position is just stopping me from doing what I want to do. So definitely ways, I'm gonna have to look for ways to address that. But I think the idea that I have is to go heist, come up on top in the other direction. Here the match is almost over. Oh yeah. Ethan and I have been killing each other at the gym for as long as I can remember. I remember the first time we actually met. We trained in Nagi, and I had him in a triangle for for the whole round, and I couldn't finish it. And at the end of the round, there was a lady watching us the whole round, and I was like, ooh, not nice for Ethan. And then I asked him, he's like, yeah, it's my mom. I'm like, oh, bro, how you let me put you in a triangle for a full round and you don't tell me anything? Felt bad, you know. I would have let him get a couple of things. This is all jokes, guys, by the way. I love him. He's a brother, and we'll keep training and killing each other at the gym. So yeah, 50-50 still. Just at this point, I think what was going in my mind is like, I'm not going to take any stupid risks and get subbed at the very end. Here, what I would usually do is I'd unlock my legs and bring the knee in here. So I'll bring it right in here. But again, Ethan's arm positioning here is strategic for him, because as soon as I unlock my legs, he's got the heel sticking out right there, as you can see, ready to go for it. So yeah, patience at this point. Wasn't able to get it done in 10 minutes, unfortunately. So yeah, no need to go for broke. You know, OT is still high chances of winning, especially Ethan had 2 wars prior to the match against me. I had a pretty I wouldn't say easy run. I had 2 very, very tough opponents, but I didn't have to go to overtime and get tired. Was able to secure 2 wins by submission and save some energy. And now right about here, guys, the match is pretty much over. So we're going to wait it out a couple more seconds until it ends. And yeah, it should be over like anytime now. Just inverting, keeping the legs locked. Yeah, should be done right now. Anytime soon. So yeah, guys, there it is. There's a lot of cool stuff that, you know, unfortunately with this COVID thing coming up, it's going to slow down the progression. But yeah, it's definitely super looking forward to getting back to training and keep working on the things that, you know, I saw in here. Keep sharpening up the tools. And with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in during this crisis. We will get through it. We will all heal up. We're hearing some good news. So hang in there. I want to thank the sponsors: Roll Forever, Mizu Studio, Scramble Canada, Scramble any country there is available, Physiomentum. Let us know what you think. If you guys didn't get it yet, hit up support@grapplearts.com. There's a free my first instructional is free. Highly recommend it to go through it before I release the second one, because there's going to be some techniques where we go more in depth, and it'd be good to know the first one before we go more in depth. So that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you soon.